Hi everyone, Emma here. I'm so excited to show you how to make this necklace. Um, this is part of the John Bead Curiosity Box #2 that I got, and this is the image that they used to get a lot of the inspiration. Let me grab the card here. So this is it here, and the colors are amazing, but it also came with a massive bag of glass beads, and I'm just trying to grab, I've sorted most of them. I've sorted most of them, and then these beads here and the ones I've used that you can see, and I've also have a bunch that I had extras of. I sorted them by color, and I don't know if you can see that in these little baggies, but this one here, the beads look a little more olivine than, say, these ones. These ones have a streak of blue. Let me see if I can find one that you can really see the blue color in it. So there's a lovely streak of blue in that one. So I tried to match them up. You know, I'm sure you could use them all together and nobody would ever notice. I just am so meticulous with things like this that I wanted to separate them. So let's take a look at what you need. This is going to be a necklace length of 18 inches. Now you can print this off. There's tons of images on the internet for your different necklace lengths, and I think this is my sheet I printed out like maybe 4 years ago, and I use it all the time. So we're going to look at maybe 18 inches. What I'm doing, it's kind of in this area here. I find this picture, I should probably update this picture. I find this picture, that 18-inch is a little low. I feel the 18-inch necklace lands kind of midway between your neck and your chest area. And as you can see, they have her chest really low. So anyway, I thought somewhere in here, and then we're going to put an extender chain on it so that if you want to wear it longer, you can. So that's an option. And let's take a look at what we have. So definitely you need your lovely kind of rice beads from John Bead. So thank you so much. John Bead sent me the first and the second curiosity box, and I am just having so much fun with this, both of them, but definitely this one. The colors are amazing, and I love this type of glass bead too, so I was so excited to see it. So what we're going to do is we are going to create this lovely lotus flower beaded chain. Now I wanted to do just all beaded chain, but I thought it would be nice. I have this really lovely chain that has a distinct pattern in it. So it has big links separated by smaller links, and it is so beautiful and really goes well with this lovely lotus flower. So John Bead has a bunch of charms that you can buy as well, and put your own charms on your necklace, and you can get those at Michael's, and often they come in a card with a few charms to go with it, so on a certain theme. So I'm sure you could find something like this. This one is I got on Etsy. It's handmade gold vermeer. I say vermeer, it's vermeil. Pronounced in my French language. So this is what it looks like, and I just went down. I put, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those beautiful beads on each side of the charm, separated by a oval link, which is lovely. And then I attached One of these, it's a crimp cover connector. Let me adjust the focus on this here. There we go. So I've got another oval link, and then this lovely kind of like, it looks like a nutshell cover, and a little metal ball, and the connecting to the beautiful heart chain, extender chain, and then a lobster claw clasp, and then the same on the other side to make this. So we're going to need a few things, so definitely grab your beads. Let's get this here so we can see what we're doing. You can do this using craft wire, which is normally what I use to create my links for my beads. And let's adjust this again. But I found it was too soft. I was using, I didn't have any gold 20 gauge wire, and that's usually what I use for this type of design. But you know what, I really wanted to make sure that these links were nice and strong, so I ended up using my head pins. These are gold plated head pins, and making it with these. And I saved the head because I didn't need the whole thing. I saved the other pieces. So you could do that, or you can use your wire. There's tons of videos on wire wrapping out there. I am not an expert at it, but I can do enough to make this beautiful necklace. So let's take a look. I think my camera's too close to the table. That's why it keeps doing a different focus. Let's see if we can adjust this. There. Okay, so I have them set up as well. Let's start with adding the links to this. So you're going to take a head pin or whatever you have, and you are going to cut a piece that's long enough to create a loop on each end of your bead, like that. Because I use this, one of the methods you can use to measure it is create one with the loop the right sizes for each size, and then take it apart. So unfurl the loops and then measure it. So that's what I have here. This is what I used for the whole thing. You can see it's all marred up. So, but I know that's my measuring, or as I say, my ciphering tool. So we're going to take that, and I'm going to tilt this camera a little so you can see my hands. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut all these. Just do one at a time. So you're going to take a piece at the end, make sure they're even like that, and then just going to grab this. And I'll tell you, if you're doing cutting metal pieces like this, make sure you hold both pieces or do it away from your face. Believe it or not, I have had them hit me in the eye. And just today, one flew and hit me in the nose. That was not friendship. I was like, really? This is beading. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to hit me in the face. So let's grab this. So it's pretty easy to grab the other side. Now here's the other thing. If you're doing something like this, you might want to do it in an assembly line fashion. I find it's faster. But you know what? You might want to do it a different way, and that's fine, because sometimes you change your mind halfway through a design and you're like, oh, I cut all these out already. So there's that. But I pretty well know where we're heading with this. Let's hope. Okay, so I just reuse those, and actually I ended up using them for something else, so, but I'm just a hoarder maybe. Okay, so now we have our length of wire we're going to take, and I forgot to tell you, you're going to need some type of cutter for your wire. You're going to need 2 pairs of pliers and your round nose pliers. So I'm making the smallest loop possible. I tend to do the size loop that matches the size of the bead, and these beads are so beautiful and delicate that I wanted to get it as small as I could. So I'm using the very end of these. So just hold them like that. That should be flush, and then use this thumb to hold it down. You're going to release and turn and release and turn till you see that wire coming back. Let me see if I can adjust the camera up here. There. Okay. Then take your pliers and go to the spot where that wire meets the post and just bend it with your finger like this. You want to set that loop on the middle of your wire, and then thread your loop in, and you're going to do the loop on the other side. So just hold it like that, twist and turn. When you get to the end, just do a little loop like that, and you can flatten them out here if you want, like that. So there's your first one. So we'll do a few of these. I'll put that one there. So grab your wire and turn it to get it to about there, then move your wire down like that. Grab the next one. I try to keep it nice and straight, the wire, but it's not a big deal when you get to the end, and when you're assembling, I find myself kind of fine-tuning, making sure that's, you know, straight with the other side, kind of like that. But that's like really nitpicky. You don't even notice it when it's on the necklace. So grab the next wire, turn, 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 and then bring your tool around and twist that, and we'll just straighten that out. Put your bead on, go to the other side. You might want to keep your loops going in the same orientation. It probably wouldn't matter with that chain, because that chain has like a twisted look to it. If you're doing some, like say you were connecting these, you might want to make sure you have them, one's flat, the other one's flat, or you might do flat and the other one is the other way. I hope that makes sense. Where did I get this one from? I'm messing up my little piles. There. Be careful with your glass bead that you don't chip it or scratch it with your tools. Grab the next one and turn that, something like that. And then turn and tilt. Now for this, some of these beads are a little shorter. If that bothers you, there's a little bit of a neck there on that wire. You can clip a little edge of your loop and then turn it again so that it's flush. But again, this is like really, really small, finicky stuff that you can, you know, adjust at the end when you're connecting the chain, or leave it. You're not going to see it. I think that's why I love beaded chain so much. It's so unforgiving. I mean, sorry, the other way around. It's so forgiving. You won't see it. And I think the other reason is I was telling somebody the other day my mother used to collect rosaries, and I don't know that it was a like an active thing. It was she always had a rosary, and she had a glow in the dark rosary in her bed at night. And being kids, right, we were always like, fascinated with glow in the dark. And to this day, I still have a fascination with glow in the dark beads. But people would give her rosaries from people who had passed away. And if you understand like meditation and using malas and beads, that some people believe there's the energy of that person in those beads from their prayers. So I think that's where this beaded chain is just, I'm a little obsessive about it. So, okay, so let me say for that 18-inch necklace, what we're going to need is we have, I think, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and this is our 14th here. So what we're going to do now is we are going to connect pieces together. So we're going to connect one of these along with the pieces of chain. And actually, I think we only need to do 6 of those, and then these will be connecting beads. But yeah, I didn't think that one through. So let me just show you the chain. This may have been the sample. Yeah, the sample chain. So if you look at this chain, and I mean, this is, use whatever chain you have. But what I did was I decided to connect 3 of the large loops with the smaller chain in between. And so this chain comes, like I showed you, you can get this, pretty sure you can get this at Michael's. I may have bought this at Michael's now that I think of it. It's really beautiful. They have amazing chain. So all I do is, we'll start with the side that already has a large loop. So 1, 2, 3. So now what I want to do is you can either open this up. This chain is so inexpensive, I just cut it. So we're going to cut the small link like that, so that you have this section. So everybody's mowing their lawns today. I apologize. And that's Jennifer. I'm not going to say anything about it. She's been madly preparing for the renovations to start on Tuesday. So there you go. Your 3 large loops separated by the 3 small. So you're going to do a whole bunch of those to link up your sets of beads. So let me just put that there in case we need it. Let's do another one here for that. I don't know that we need it, but I think my counting's not the best today. You know what my problem is today? I have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, about 10 projects on the go, ready to do a video. So sometimes it's hard to keep it straight in my head. Simple tasks like counting becomes a huge chore. So I've got my 3 large links. I'm just gonna hang on to it like that and just clip that piece there. So we'll put that on the side. So there's the pile ready to go. So let's put together, so we'll start, let's look at this first. We have 2 full ones on the end. If you look at the where the charm is. So if we're going to make some of these, we'll count how many we need. So we need 2 of those. Ignore that one. We need 4. Ignore that one. We need 6. And we'll stop at 6 because I think the other ones I ended up taking loops off of pieces of chain. It gets long very fast. So let's put those together. So let me see if I can move these findings. Put those aside. There, those 2. Okay, so I'm just gonna open these up. And some of them are already a little bit open. So just open that up a bit. I'm just going to take a look at the camera here. I don't know why there's such a big shadow. So, I did try to hook my chain on by just poking it like you would a needle for a bead. It was a waste of time. So, I just put them on with my hands. You know what's funny? When I was a nurse, we did a lot of wound dressings. So we used to use these little like tweezer things with both hands to do stuff and pick things up, and I was really good at it. But who knows, maybe it does translate into beading. So now I'm just going to close this up and make sure it's pretty closed pretty good so that chain's pretty fine. So there's your next one. And these go really fast. You know, there's a lot of explanation right now, but so this one's kind of crooked. So I'm just going to straighten it, open it, and put that on. Put the one piece of chain on the one side and the other piece of chain on the other side. I think this was the one that the neck was a bit long, so I'm going to try and just extend it a little. There. Grab this one, open, and close. And I'm just gently twisting it open. There was 2 there. And then close. 4. I think my camera got moved for some reason. It's very finicky with the lighting situation. So I hope everybody's having a lovely weekend. Let me know if you're getting ready for back to school, Labor Day. We don't have any kids, so that's the only impact it has on us is we try and stay away from the stores the week before, and we had to do some shopping and it was super busy. It was definitely not a time to go to Michael's to see what kind of fun stuff I could make. Teachers going, buying their supplies for their crafty classes and stuff. So I've got 2, 4, this will be 6. And we'll start assembling it and then we can add the chain as needed. That. Sweet. Okay, so I tend to start from the bottom of the necklace, and I keep wanting to call it bracelet. I realize now I make so many bracelets. It's like second nature. So take your large jump ring and we're going to attach 2 of these to either side of that jump ring. So you need your both pliers for this. It's slightly open now. Just nice little twist. You don't want to misshape it too much. So take your first link on there. There. And your second link. Like that. And we're going to close that. We're going to put our charm on with a smaller oval and just wiggle it close together like that and make it nice and flush. And you know what? You don't even notice there's, like, it looks like a closed jump ring. So take your small oval and do the same, just a gentle twist, separating it. Put your beautiful charm on, then attach it to the large oval. That. And twist it closed. So now you have your first section like that. So now we're going to work on the one side and then we'll work on the other. Now what you're going to do with each of these sections is you're going to put one of the beads that we already have ready. I'm just looking at that one. Yeah, looks fine. So just open that one up. Link it to the chain that you already have the charm on. Then close that. Open the other side. And put the next link with the bead and the chain. And close that. Okay. That's what you have so far. And just keep going till you have the length you want. So now I have another bead here. I'm going to open that up. Put my chain on. So this is, you know what, I think with doing beaded chain, you can make so many incredible designs. It's really limitless what you can do. So I think that's another reason I just love it. And I feel like it has a vintage, even Victorian look. Although, you know, when I start to research different jewelry through time, a lot of the jewelry is like from silversmiths and stuff like that. So let's do the other 2 on the other side and then we'll get our measurements. Let's grab the next bead, open it up. I remember my mom used to give us you guys are going to think I'm crazy talking about death again. But, you know, somebody, an aunt would pass away or something and they'd give her jewelry box to somebody, some other women in the family. And my mom would let us go through and pick something we wanted. And it was like a treasure trove. So grab the next bead. And hook that on. And open this one. Hook this one on. Close it. Okay, let's see what we have and compare it to our finished one. 3, 4. There's 4. There's 5. Let me open this up. I think let's see if I can fix this, because I'm having a hard time seeing because the camera's in the way. So let's just open it. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're in the little piles here. 5. So we need another set. So we need 2 of those, 2 of those, and we're gonna need 2 beads. So we'll need, yep. I knew I counted it right. I think it's just I did too many chains. So let's pop this open. Get that on. I've got my ruler. Ah, this is there we go. I think I'm back to the old position here. Like that. Hook the next piece on. And open it enough. This one. There we go. There. So let's hook these on. Let me, before I do that, because I think we're actually going to need 2 more beads. Yeah, this is, I need, the end is a little bit different, because here's the thing with this design, is you have to think, if you're attaching a bead and 2 pieces of chain and doing that multiple times throughout, well, this is the length you have to work with when you get to the end, and the end is actually only like this. So I need to switch that. We didn't need the big chain on each. So let's do this. And you'll find what it is you want to do depending on what you're doing. Like I said, there's so many options. So now we're going to put an extra bead on the one that we just took the chain off of. And that will give us a shorter length to make it to the 18. I was surprised. I had the multiples of the two chains to one bead, and it ended up being, it was still beautiful, but it was longer than I wanted. So let's take this one off. And okay, I want to put the bead on there. And then this one open. Attach it. That. Close that. Okay, so now we're going to attach those. Put aside those pieces of chain. I definitely will be using them. So this is so beautiful. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so let's open this one. Attach. There. And then next one. It is teeny tiny. If you're challenged with issues of sight or your hand dexterity, definitely you can use a bigger chain. It will look lovely. And in that bead box, there was a lot of bigger beads too. So you could use these ones. These ones here are lovely too. So you could do that. Really pretty. You could do like the longer length, like you would see in the 1920s, a lot of long kind of beads. They're fun too to wear. I love playing with people's heads when it comes to jewelry. So I'm not like huge adventurous with fashion, but what I think is if I, say a white t-shirt and blue jeans, that's like the typical thing you would suggest, and then add your personality with your beads, your jewelry, and you can totally go totally off script and outrageous, and people like, it's not like people are going to freak out. Like, what are you wearing? I'm wearing my own project. Okay, so let's do the clasp. So I have a few items. This took a little figuring out, and we don't need our measuring tool. So there's our link. So these are going to be the main part of the clasp, and these are crimp cover connectors, something like that. They are beautiful. I just love them. But they are normally meant for a crimp bead and like using with beading wire. But the way I'm using it, because we're doing the beaded chain, I wanted to do it something like this. So what I did was I took a head pin, and of course once this is closed, that head pin can't come out because we're going to actually cut this, make a loop, and that's going to attach to the chain. So you actually need something on here so that it doesn't come out of this hole. Now we are going to squeeze it a bit, but let me show you on the other one. You kind of have to have something there so that it doesn't pop out. So I just grabbed some crimp, and you know what? Maybe I did. Yeah, here they are. These are, I don't know the size. Let me see here. Because I have them marked. They are 2.5 millimeter crimp beads. So just put that on. You don't have to crimp it, nothing, just leave it that size. Then you take your link like this and you pop that in there. You can see it's even, you know, a little bit snug going in. Hold on to that. So let's hold on to this. Grab your pliers and you're going to squeeze this close. I got a hold of it, so I'm going to move this there and just squeeze it closed like that. It doesn't take a lot. I'm just going around to make sure the edges are nice and closed. This also gives you a lot of wiggle room with your head pin, so it's not so rigid. Then I didn't want it to be a stark difference between the loop and this piece here, so I added these lovely little caged metal beads that you can get pretty well anywhere, and put that on like that. So now we're going to cut this because we don't need that whole piece. This is kind of, you have to figure out what size loop you're making and how to measure. So I'm just going to do about that much. I know that's going to be too much. We'll clip as we go. Better to leave a little more than to not leave enough. Take your round nose pliers. We want to match the loops the same as the loops we put on the beads. So I'm going to use the end of my pliers like that. Hold my thumb, twist and turn, and you can see it's way too long. So all I do is I kind of eyeball this end here, so about that amount I need to take off here, like that. And again, cover that so that you don't, it doesn't get in your nose. It's one of those days. So there we have that, and you want to make it nice and 90-degree and flat. So that is, let me see if I can show you. It does not want to turn like that. So we're going to do that again for the next one. So we got our head pin, put the crimp bead on, pop it inside this lovely little, looks like a acorn cap. Oops. See if I can. Bit of finagling when you get into the little stuff like this. So I just, once you have your pliers in hand, you can move this around with the other hand and squeeze it closed. I'm going to adjust that. Looks like it's gone over to the side there. There. Like that. Put your lovely little caged bead. These are fun to string, and I'm being sarcastic because they're caged. Sometimes your needle or your head pin goes through one of the side holes. Put it on like that. And we're going to clip this. I'm going to go a little further down, see if that makes a difference. Like that. Get my round nose pliers. And turn. And we are way too much. So let's just clip a bit off. That should do it. This head pin seems thinner than the others. And these are all gold plated. I think most, unless you get some really bargain stuff, I guess. Like that. Okay, that's our second one. So we have 2 ovals. We're going to attach we're going to attach this section here, the loop that we made, to our actual chain. So you can open this one up. Like that. Hook it on. Oh, wait, we need our oval. I knew there was a reason I closed these, because we're going to open the oval to attach both pieces. So close that back up. There. Getting ahead of myself here. And get my other pliers. That. Put that on. Let's get our chain. That. And then grab that. And twist it closed. And get nice flush together like that. We'll do the other side. With our oval. Open that up. That seems long. Well, fine. And the other loose piece of chain. Close that up. So let's take a look. This is what we have. So at this point, this is why I like these two. I've started using these in different applications because now we have lovely end to whatever you're making, if it's a necklace or a bracelet. Now you can change out the clasp to whatever you want. So we're going to put our lovely, this is another gold plated finding. Open this up. And attach it to our chain. Nice and flush. So that's what you have on that side. That. And now we're going to put this extender chain on the other side. I think I need one more oval. I see what I did. I attached them the other way on here. Huh. So I put my loops towards the clasp. I think it works better this way. So I need another oval. That's the, let me grab those. Yeah, here they are. And I just need a small oval. Nope, those are all big. There's a small one. It's actually medium. They come even smaller. So that's what I mean. As you're going, you'll end up making changes all the way along. I find, like, if I was doing a whole bunch as gifts for somebody, by the time I get to the last bracelet, the design can be totally different. There was a Christmas party and I made bracelets for all the women. It was a big hit. So there we go. That is this lovely beaded chain with these gorgeous beads. I'd love to find out more about these beads. They're just stunning. But I'm sure it's from their vaults of lovely beads that they have. And then you can just open this up. So it's lovely with the extender chain. Like I said, you could make it a little longer, or you can make it more of a choker. I think like for a true choker, I would probably go to, I've got the 18, I'd probably go to the 16, but you know what? I find that the 16-inch is tight for me. But if you were making this for a young person, then you could definitely do the 16 for a choker. And chokers are big right now. So that is, so you can see the difference in the color of the beads. These are very kind of olivine green, and these have that beautiful stripe of turquoise through it. They're so lovely. Thank you so much to John Bead for the incredible, all the work that they put in for those boxes. I've been getting a lot of really wonderful responses from the different update videos on the projects that I'm doing. And I have to say, I'm inspired by what they sent me in those boxes. So thank you to them. I'm definitely on a inspiration kind of wave right now with all the lovely things that they've been sending me. So big thanks. There we go. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.